Hello and good morning to everybody. Welcome to the Point Blank Podcast with Rome DMV. It is a beautiful day, episode 11. So, Rihanna's pregnant. That's fun. You guys can give me your guesses who you guys think the father is. I'm gonna go with C Breezy back in the Panini. So I'm gonna be honest. I think if I had to guess who the father is, that would be my guess. If I'm wrong, if she's dating someone, let me know. I don't really follow her like that. That's just my best guess. You guys can put your guess in the comments below. Now, salute to everyone that signed up for the Patreon. That's hearing this first, That's where I'll be dropping my podcast a few days before they'll be on YouTube for the public. The link is in the description. If you're hearing this on YouTube, you can listen to part 2 of the State of the Bloggers address, which is on the Patreon right now before it drops on YouTube. I'll be dropping Patreon exclusive content there weekly that only Patreon members will have access to, so sign up by clicking the Patreon link in the description below and be entertained. Okay, I don't put ads on the YouTube drops, so if you support my podcast and what I'm doing, go sign up now. Now, when you talk about media and bloggers, the first thing people think of is someone's going to get in their feelings, right? You guys see what bloggers versus battler beef is, how people can get in their feelings from that, specifically battlers. You've seen how even blogger versus league beef happens, how bloggers can get leagues in their feelings and things like that, to the point where they want to blackball the blogger and come back at the blogger and things like that. It gets the people going, right? Word to Jay-Z and Kanye, it gets the people going. When a blogger calls someone out on something, the streets start to talk. Okay? If a blogger drops a blog on somebody, that person, 99% of the time, is going to hear it, whether they want to admit it or not. A lot of battlers be like, oh, I don't even watch bloggers. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All the time, battlers get caught saying in interviews all the time, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, the people saying what they say. When they say that, they're talking about the bloggers. We're not dumb. You're just like the rest of the fans. Who else are you going to watch? There's only one thing to watch on YouTube, and that is the media and the bloggers, and to hear what we say. So anytime you say that, guess who you're talking about? The bloggers, and the bloggers know it. So that's how we know we're getting to you guys. You listen to us. If a blogger drops something on you, you're going to listen. Period. You know who admits to hearing it? Sometimes the only people that admit to hearing it when bloggers talk about them is other bloggers. If a blogger comes at a blogger, it might be one of the best things that happened that year. You might be entertained for months with a good back and forth. Get a bunch of blogs going at each other, completely dedicated to each other. Even when you're not blogging directly on each other, you get little shots and blogs at each other here and there. It's entertaining. It's battle rap. It's another battle going on the underground between the bloggers, right? It's a battle. If you're going against another blogger, it's a war. Every move you make, every blog you drop is a chess move. And that's how bloggers do this. It's entertaining. Like when I saw blogs earlier this year on who started the kill shot, all that is just two bloggers putting their egos against each other and see who can make the better point on it and who can get the most people to believe their side of the story. Some people believe D.I. the Henny Man, some people believe Battle Truth, but at the end of the day, does it really matter, or was it just entertaining blogger beef? Now, I also have the answer to this question later, but does it really matter? Did any of that really matter? No, it was just entertaining blogger beef, something we could talk about for a little bit. That being said, I'm going to be addressing mostly all media and bloggers that are relevant, talking about what I like, what I don't like, what I would like to see from them. Now, this won't be me hating on platforms. No, I'm not going to be doing that. This is me giving real analysis of what you do and what you provide to the people. If you happen to get butthurt about it, like most bloggers and media tend to do, you can do one of two things. You can cry about it at home, or you can drop a response blog on how you feel about what I said about you. And I'm pretty sure that whoever has the best comeback I'm sure it would be pretty hard for me to resist to not clap back at you in a demonic sort of way. So, I haven't had a blogger beef completely off the leash. I don't know ever. So, this could get interesting. Now, let's begin. I'm going to be giving each blogger or media their 2K rating as well. Now, this is all going to be my opinion. So if you disagree, you're free to make your own list and put your 2K comment ratings in the comments below. I'll be sure not to read them. So these are my thoughts about specific bloggers and media. Now let's begin. 15 minutes of fame. Okay, Uncle Ra. If Franklin the Turtle had a light-skinned grandpa, it'd be you. You don't always seem like you're the quickest on your feet or as tech-savvy as me or some of the other younger people in the media. But man, oh man, when I say Uncle Ra, he knows how to get an interview and who to get an interview with, and he knows how to upload it quick. He does. This man gets interviews with people that we wouldn't think would be up for an interview at the time. Anytime a big battle happens, boom, he's sitting down with them at some park in their hood 28 seconds later, interviewing them, uploading it that night. This man is magical. I promise you. If battle rap had a unicorn, it's Uncle Ra. One of the kindest people in real life. One of the biggest assholes that you'll talk to if he's giving you an interview. He'll joke with you, call you out your name, all out of love, especially if he already has a good rapport with you, which he does with most top-tier battlers. But the best thing about Uncle Ra is you'll never catch him lying to a battler about what the battler is saying to him. Nothing. If Uncle Ra feels you lost and you say you won and he feels like you clearly lost, he will tell you right there that he felt you lost. Sometimes making interviews awkward, but battlers respect what he has to say because he barely ever does it. So when he does do it, it usually means something. So they listen. Now, I say all this, but there is one thing that I would suggest, right? You're a huge brand now, Uncle Ra. You passed over 100K subscribers now. It's time to cut down on who has access to your channel still. These random shows that go live that really have nothing to do with anything that go live that you let access, like, I get it. Yes, it's in your studio, but if they aren't paying you heavily to upload it to that channel with all that exposure that it's giving them, it's time to make them put it on their own channels, because your platform, 15 Minutes of Fame, is probably the biggest battle rap media outlet that we have and maybe the most important. Okay, so Uncle Ra. Overall, I think Uncle Ra is amazing. I think he's awesome for the culture. If Uncle Ra stopped doing what he was doing, things just wouldn't feel the same. I love Uncle Ra. I got a bunch of love for Uncle Ra. And I think he's awesome. But in my opinion, if he had to do one thing, that is the only thing. Other than that, Uncle Ra has been golden. Some of these interviews that he's been getting recently, oh my goodness. Like, how is he getting some of these interviews and uploading them that quickly? Uncle Ra is awesome. If I had to give Uncle Ra and 15 Minutes of Fame a media 2K rating for battle rap, it would be a 98. Next up, we got Hip Hop Is Real. Fight back, knowledge. Fight back, all right? All right, seriously, though. Hip Hop Is Real. You guys have been doing this for a long time, going to events, getting interviews, sitting down with battlers, being at every single big event that there is, just like 15 Minutes of Fame, and Uncle Ra. I give you guys props for that. I definitely give you guys props for that because the grind is real, and I understand that going everywhere is not easy, right? What I don't like about your platform is you don't keep it real with the artists that you're interviewing. You always agree with who you're interviewing, no matter what. Even if it goes against what you just agreed with in a previous interview with the person that the battler was talking about. Many battlers and fans have called you out about it. And it's time to stop, because I know you've heard it, because you've talked about it before. So I know that you've heard it, and yet it doesn't stop. We don't need your input or thoughts. We don't need your opinion on every battle and every situation during every interview. When it's an interview, we want you to interview. Stop cutting off the person that you're talking to ask a question that has nothing to do with it when they're really about to go in depth about something that we actually want to hear. Stop it. It's cringeworthy, and it hasn't stopped. We want to see you be honest with these battlers. If a battler loses and you get in their face and you are interviewing them and they see that they felt like they got it 2-1, and you know, looking at them, they did not win 2-1, you'll say, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gotta leave it up to the people. Like, no, don't. If you're gonna say that, don't even speak. Don't say nothing. Just let them talk. Like, the reason that we love Uncle Ra's interviews so much is because he barely ever gives his opinion. Do you know how many times you tried to cut off Chess in that interview that you did with Chess? Talking about the brawl? Just go listen to it. Listen to it. Listen to how many times you and New Bars cut off Chess. While he was trying to get into something, he literally had to tell y'all to be quiet sometimes because y'all just kept talking. Stop. Y'all are not the battlers. Y'all are the media. Nobody cares about your opinion on battles. People care about who you're filming, because that's the lane that you chose. You didn't choose the blogger lane. You chose the media lane. Uncle Ra barely ever gives his opinion, and when he does, he keeps it 100 with them. He told Jay Mills to his face that he lost in an interview right after the K-Shine battle. Hip Hop Is Real would never do that. Uncle Ra told Briz that he felt that he was wrong in the Mook situation in an interview that Uncle Ra knew would get over 150,000 views. Hip Hop Is Real would never do that. If Chess had been wrong about something, do you really think Knowledge the God would have called out Chess on it in that car? No. Uncle Ra would have. You know what Uncle Ra told Briz when Briz asked him, So what do you think about that, Uncle Ra? Right after Briz just got done explaining like what he was talking about. And you know what Uncle Ra said? He said, I don't think. And then he asked Briz another question. He doesn't give his opinion on anything that he doesn't need to, which is why any and everyone wants to do 15 minutes of fame interviews. That's why everyone wants to do 15 minutes of fame interviews with him. You aren't a blogger, Knowledge. You're a media outlet. And it's time you started to act like it. If I had to give Hip Hop Is Real a media 2K rating, it would be 94. Next up, we got Jay Black. This one isn't going to be too long because it's not really too much to speak on. My only advice to Jay Black would be to go back to being Jay Black. Me personally, I haven't watched a Champion episode aside from the Rex and Bill and Snake and Ace Amin face-offs since, well, pretty much since I've stopped blogging on battle rap, pretty much like 7-8 months ago, pretty much like January, February. Why did I stop? Because I could care less about your co-host opinions, and you don't give your opinion anymore, Jay Black. So why would I watch? Because I could care less about any of their opinions. Literally, there is not one person up there on that panel that I could even somewhat try to care about their opinion. Like, I haven't watched an episode in over 7 months, and I know nothing has changed. Black, you're just going to let whichever one of the fools you want that day say who they felt won, and then you'll argue the other side whether you actually believe it or not. You know, so why would I watch a Jay Black video when I don't even know if it's really going to be how Jay Black feels? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, like, if Surf battles, Jay Black will have him winning no matter what, right? Surf wins no matter what, and tell the other person to have Geechee or whoever Surf is battling or whatever, or he'll just have somebody come up to the show that day that feels like Geechee won. That way that the argument will be easier for him. He's not going to bring someone up that feels like Surf won. It's just one person's going to have one argument, the other person's going to have the other argument. What's the point in watching? Literally, you're not getting a final answer. You're just getting two opposite opinions. It's pointless to me. And most of the time, Jay Black, half the time, you're not even saying how you really feel. You'll just play devil's advocate, especially giving predictions going into battles. You always play devil's advocate. Why? Because it's easy for you. Why? Because when you're knowledgeable about battles, it's easy to play devil's advocate for a prediction. I could literally give a prediction to any battle and say any battler is going to win and give a reasonable reason why. And it's not that hard when you just know battle rap. It's really not. You can give reasons and make it seem like you feel like this person's going to win. You can play the devil's advocate very easily. It's not that hard. Like this Loaded Lux battle that's coming up. I don't know if Champion reviewed it. If they did, let me know if I'm right. If they haven't yet, let me know if I'm right when it drops, because I won't be watching it. But when it drops, J Black somehow is going to have Loaded Lux winning the first 2 rounds. He's going to say Loaded Lux rounds 1 and 2 somehow. Why is he going to do this? Because he's a Loaded Lux stan more than he's an Averb stan. Barely. This is the battle that he's been waiting for, but he's going with Beloved. You know, he's admitted it. He's more biased towards Loaded Lux, so he's going to have Loaded Lux winning. It just is what it is. And then he's going to have the people up there arguing for Averb. Even though J Black in his heart of hearts probably knows that Averb lost that battle, which in my opinion he did, in a lot of bloggers' opinions he did. But to J Black, he won't. Why? Because narrative. If some fans believe Loaded Lux won, you can't watch Champion without feeling like, oh yeah, somebody thought that Loaded Lux won too. So someone is going to have Loaded Lux winning up there. Why? Because it's political. It's just a political show now. It's not actual opinions. It's not people being 100% them. It's just people fitting a narrative. Which is okay for some people. Some people enjoy watching that. But me personally, like knowing battle rap and knowing like the ins and outs and knowing how media works and knowing all those little things, I could care less to watch it. I don't care about their opinions. Like if like, man, Jesus Christ. You know, you don't break down bars anymore, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you stopped doing that because RIP, when Tech 9 would do that and break down bars, a lot of times like he would do it like so cringeworthy because like he didn't really have bars himself, so he didn't really know a lot of bars. You could literally tell listening to him breaking down a bar that he had no clue what it meant. He just knew the crowd reacted, so he said it was fire. It was very cringeworthy, and so you don't really do it at all anymore, and you don't even do point systems anymore, even though that's what you use to pretty much judge all your battles. You don't publicly say your point systems anymore. You know, I don't know why you got rid of those. You know, if all the people on Champion that are there right now with you, J Black, made their own channel, they pulled a Vodafly, stabbed you in the back, you know what I'm saying, went on to blog on their own channel, do you think that people would care to watch them away from your channel? In any way, shape, or form? Heck to the no. Heck to the heck no. Maybe that's why you have them up there, because you know that can never happen. But I swear, nobody cares about anything. I swear, nobody cares about anything. Nobody cares about anything anymore. I don't. Never mind. I'm not even going to talk about that. I might talk about that later. Piperboy knows what I'm talking about. Me and Piperboy had like a conversation for a couple hours, like a little bit ago. But I'm not going to talk about that yet. But it is what it is. Me personally, I don't watch people that I can't learn something from. I just don't. I don't watch someone if I can't learn something from them. And I'm not going to learn anything from those people that you have up there. And if I'm not going to learn something from you, at least be entertaining. They are none of that. None of that. Now, aside from the debates, which are drier than a Popeye's biscuit, I think the Champion platform is great for face-offs and things like that. Snake Eyes and Ace Amin had a classic face-off there. Bill and Rex had a great face-off there. J Black is top 2 at hosting face-offs, and when he can do it in the comfort of his own Champion studio, he thrives a lot more, you know, away from all the communion crackers that he's normally surrounding himself with. Like, he's actually able to be himself completely and give his opinion and know how to, like, what questions to ask battlers. He knows how to do a face-off, when to just let battlers talk, because a lot of times you're just supposed to let them talk, because you don't need to keep cutting battlers off, because most of the time they're getting something juicier than if you would gas them a whole new question, which you think could be juicier. No, they're really getting to the details themselves. Sometimes you just gotta let them talk. So if I had to give J Black a media 2K rating, it would be a 91. 3 years ago, before Champion, I would have given it a 95 when Jay Black was really giving his opinion, saying who won, who lost a battle. And a lot of people would kind of take that and run with it. Now you can't take anything Champion says and run with it because one person's going to have one person, the other person's going to have another person. Find your opinion and give it to us for the love of God. So as I said, I don't watch people that I can't learn something from. And if I'm not going to learn something from you, at least be entertaining. Which brings me to my next blogger, Battle Truth. Battle Truth. You are the definition of someone that I won't learn anything from, but can entertain me to the fullest. And you, sir, are one of a kind. When I was gone, one of the biggest ways that I would know what was going on in battle rap was Battle Truth video titles. When I don't need to scroll down my Twitter timeline, I can just look at my subscriptions and look at that. I see 10 Battle Truth videos with everything that's going on in battle rap that day. Sometimes the same thing talked about 2 or 3 times in a row. Why? Because he's not done talking. Now, do I click on all of them? No, definitely not. Not really, unless it's something interesting or a roasting session or something I feel is going to be funny or something pertaining to myself. But most of the time, I'll know everything going on in battle rap by his uploads. This man misses nothing. If something happens in battle rap, he will talk about it from the smallest of the small to the biggest of the big. This man will sit at his desk at 5 a.m., record blogs till 7 a.m., then drop 8-9 blogs or whatever by noon, talking about everything that he can possibly talk about for as long as he can possibly do it every single day. Not one blogger has the dedication to the game that this guy has. He's always here to report the truth, even when it's a lie. Now, my advice to you, Truth, is don't get distracted by facts and other things. Just go. Sometimes your uninformed blogs are some of your best ones. The ones where you hear a rumor or part of a story, so you just fill in all the blanks and act like it's absolute facts. I love those blogs. They're hilarious. Don't sit around and let what all these smaller bloggers say about you distract you from the fact that you are needed in battle rap to bring the community comic relief. You talk so much about small bloggers that come at you. Stop doing it. Doesn't matter if they're lying on your name, because they have no name to talk about yours. You know who matters in this blogging game and who doesn't. Stop making the people that don't matter. Battle Truth is pure entertainment. Now, some people laugh with him, some laugh at him, but it doesn't really matter to him. Why? Because he knows what he's here to do. I talk to Battle Truth a lot on the phone, as you guys know. We're pretty cool, just like I'm cool with a lot of other media. And I told him this over a year ago. I let him know that everyone has their lane. His is entertainment. You can sit there and watch 3 straight hours of Battle Truth daily uploads and not learn a thing, but laugh 150 times, enjoying yourself. Now, you can listen to 3 hours of Rome DMV content and learn a bunch you might not have known about behind the scenes and things like that, and not laugh as many times, but learn something. So you get the same amount of feeling like you got something from the blog. You can say, okay, I was 100% entertained by a Battle Truth blog. I was 50% entertained by a Rome DMV blog, but I learned something. It's 2 different lanes. Some people can have content and learn a bunch and might not have known about behind the scenes things and only laugh a few times. Other people can have no knowledge and just make you laugh forever. But for him to be able to do what he does, to be able to point a camera at yourself and just talk without any editing at all ever, that is a talent, people. That is a talent. If it were this easy to do every day, everyone would be a blogger. Everyone would be making a bunch of money making thousands of dollars a month, just sitting in their room doing blogs every day. If it was that easy. But it's not. And Battle Truth shows why. It takes dedication, even if it's just to entertain. Not everyone could do what Battle Truth does. It's hard to ramble that much. It's hard to look down at that clock, see that you're only at 6 minutes, and know you got to get to that 10-minute monetization mark for YouTube. So you like, you know what? Boom. Yeah, I'm immediately going to go into something else to be able to keep on talking. That is a talent to be able to have. Battle Truth has that talent. He's entertainment. If I had to give Battle Truth a media 2K rating, it would be an 85. Next up, we got Angry Fan. Now, Angry Fan, first off, I want to say, get better. I know being in a hospital absolutely sucks. That thing on your arm, I know what that thing does to a person. How do I know? Is because my family member went through something very similar where her whole elbow shattered completely. She was roller skating and slipped and fell and slammed her elbow on the floor, the wood floor, the roller rink, and elbow completely shattered. She had those same rods through her arm for months, always on medication, always in pain. What you're going through is not easy. Like, you have one arm right now. What you are going through is not easy, and I want to give my condolences to you for that. As much as we make fun of you being a construction member worker and all that, I bet your ass that you're glad that you got that insurance from them, or else you'd be in a lot of trouble right now. Now, we all know last September I tore my Achilles. The process of getting back to 100% was grueling. Absolutely grueling. The physical therapy 3 times a week, the working out every day, the having to eat right, being on medication, always taking pills, things like that, not being able to walk for 2 straight months, having someone else have to drive you everywhere, always on medication, you're always tired. Caps, honestly, I understand how hard it is to keep on blogging and keep doing interviews and keep dropping content while you're at your lowest point medically, because I did it myself. So I want to salute you for that. Because having one arm, lifting your arm for 5 minutes, just holding the camera in front of your face, then having to send it in an email that's going to take like an hour to send to somebody that they can upload it to your channel and put the thumbnail on and all that stuff. Like, man, to do that, I know your arm gets tired, bro. You only use one arm right now. I know your arm is tired. That's probably why your video's not that long. Like, your arm holding that phone gets tiring. I understand. I've done it. It gets tiring. And somehow, some way, you're still talking to battlers in blogs when they need to be talked to, when they mess up, when you got to send them a message. You're still doing that. You're still doing interviews with Cassidy and things like that. Shout out to, I don't even know who the person is to be with you or whatever, but shout out to that person to be helping you do that. It's honestly honorable. Okay? I want to say that, Caps. Now, my only knock on you, Caps, straight up, stop managing Danny Myers. Like, now. Like, don't claim that. Don't say, F it, I'm managing Danny. No, don't do that. It will bring your stock down. When Danny does not move up anywhere, it will bring your stock down. It will make you look like a failure as a manager, something I never looked like because Twerk kept on elevating. And I will bet you $50 right now that Danny will lose the chess clearly. If it's not clear, nobody sends anything. But I know it will be clear, so if you want to start your managing career off with an L to Rome DMV, be my guest. I will bet $50 that Danny Myers will lose to chess, clearly. You can do that. Stop managing Danny Myers. Danny Myers will never be top tier. I'm sorry, Danny. I'm sorry to say this to you. But when Danny doesn't become top tier, Danny's been at the same place. Danny just admitted to Norbs that this is his biggest URL battle ever. Against Chess in Cleveland, Ohio. After all this time. Caps, don't do this to yourself. You'll look like a failure. That's my only knock on you, Caps. If I had to give Angry Fan a media 2K rating, it would be a 90. 3 Letterman. PSA podcast. Oh, man. 3 Three. Three, you've been around for a while now, and somehow, some way, you have the absolute worst audio in battle rap media history. Your audio is so bad, it got to be on max just to understand any words being spoken by you or your guest. Like, as much as a hip-hop head that you are, and as much as you say that you hate mumble rappers, I sure couldn't tell, because you got everybody you interview up there mumbling. You just did an interview with Ace Amin, and it sounded like it was recorded in Patrick's house. You was chilling by Sebastian and the Little Mermaid with the under the sea head asses when you recorded that. I cut that interview off no more than 45 seconds into it. I couldn't do my ears that disservice. I only got good hearing for so long. I don't want to waste it straining to listen to your interviews. You know what I'm talking about, 3. You're getting up there. Now, I'm sure a couple of things have went bad by now, so you get what I'm talking about. I can't waste my good ears on something that bad. I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about, 3. You getting up there. Gotta use your youth wisely while you got it. You got to, okay? So step up your audio, please, so I can use my youth to listen to your interviews, because you get some dope interviews. I just wish that I could listen to them. It's honestly embarrassing sometimes how bad it is. Now, my other gripe with you 3 is that you honestly don't know how to interview certain people. Now, certain battlers you're good with because you're the only one that gets radio interviews with them, like Loaded Lux and different industry rappers and things like that. But when it comes to that Cassidy interview, both of them? Oh man, you showed everything I needed to know about you when it comes to you as an interviewer. The way that you had Cassidy up there and absolutely disrespected him and his brand, you should be ashamed of that. That man, undefeated in battle rap, something that you watch daily and love. This man never lost, and he's gracing you the opportunity to talk to him and pick his mind. And what do? Before the battle, you did nothing but tell him that he would lose. All of that. Say how he isn't like Rum Nitty. How he wouldn't have bars versus Goods. How Goods would 3-0 him. All that. It was pathetic. It sounded like you were just straight up hating on him. You've never done this with any other battle rapper before. But now you do it with Cassidy, the person you should probably respect the most. Cassidy had to have touched your ego through those interviews, because you were laughing off his facts and not speaking facts yourself and going right back to being disrespectful, saying that he hasn't been around and all that, instead of appreciating the energy that Cassidy is bringing to the culture, or the fact that Cassidy just made URL a bunch of money and probably will again soon, which he is against Arsenal now. That event's already sold out, and all we know is Cassidy's on it. And you were straight disrespecting him. Cassidy didn't have to do that interview with you. At all. But when he did, he still bodied you. He 30'd you. He made you seem like the hater that you were on the phone. And it was embarrassing. Cassidy 30'd you. Twice. 2 interviews. 1 an hour, 1 like 10 minutes. 30'd you twice. So 3, if you're going to keep going, which you will, don't embarrass yourself with legends like that. And get better audio. Because I'm not listening to you party with Finding Nemo in the East Australian current anymore. I'm sorry, I'm not. If I click on it and it sounds crazy, I'm not listening to it. Now, when it comes to being a cool guy, and someone that knows his battle rap and hip hop history, oh, that's all you. You're an OG in this battle rap media game. And the fact you've been doing it this long, even though the quality hasn't improved in 5 years, that is honorable in itself. So if I had to give 3 Letterman PSA Podcast a Media 2K rating, it would be an 83. Now, salute to everyone listening. Everyone that heard this. This is part 1 of the State of the Bloggers and Media address. In part 2, we'll be addressing more bloggers and media, such as Vada Fly, Battle Rap Trap, Piperboy, Jims, Norbs It All, Black Compass, and a few more bloggers. If you'd like to hear part 2, it'll be available on the Patreon for everyone early before it drops on YouTube. The link is in the description to the Patreon to access it first. This has been Rome DMV. Rome wasn't built in a day. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest from the show. I'll see you on the next episode.